Well, hello there and welcome to issue number 111, and this issue is all about the Virgo Tiger. As you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are all the dates you have to be in this Western and Eastern Zodiac combination. Any questions about the video or any comments, really pleased to hear from you, or any feedback is very welcome. Okay, let's start straight away then. So we've spoken about the Virgo, and let's recap on the Virgo as a child or in the very beginning. We've got a very helpful, quite a pristine, an easygoing child, really easygoing child, and he's really looking to help others, really looking to sort of, help out those less fortunate even at school, even though they might not have a fantastic beginning. They're always there to be looking out for the less fortunate kids, or the ones who may be sort of ostracised or a little bit bullied or anything like that, or if they're slight oddballs in that class, then they will find a friend in the Virgo, always, because they wouldn't shun anybody like that, because they know that feeling of isolation themselves deep down. Now, if we marry in the Tiger with this, the Justice Tiger, the very proud, a bit of a freedom fighter, a pioneer of ideas, somebody who really does push boundaries in thoughts, always for the good, always trying for the good of society. So if we push the two together, you're going to get one easygoing, but one very, very fearsome customer when it's coming to fight for the the underprivileged, or the underdogs. They're there, and you'll notice this very, very early. There'll be questions to parents like, Mum, Dad, why is that man sleeping rough? Why is this certain kid in my class, his mum might have passed away, or his dad might have passed away, why has that happened? They'll be very conscious very early of the needs of others, and when there's somebody who's on a low ebb, they sense it very easily, and they're drawn to these people, and really it's like they're on a mission, and they carry this through. They carry it through into all the sorts of animal rights, human rights, the homeless, cancer runs, anything charity orientated, even from a young age. They'll be very conscious. They'll be very conscious of world affairs as well. What's going on in the world? Why has this country got less food than this country? And this will be a continual theme for them, and it will really manifest in the college and university years, where they will be a real strong forerunner. Very easygoing, very smiley, doesn't really want to cause conflict, but the true nature of the Virgo Tiger is seen if you are maybe frivolous about a comment. You just test them. Frivolous about a comment, saying, oh well, why didn't they, I don't know, why didn't they plant more stuff, or it's their fault they live in a place where there's drought, or why weren't they more careful with their money instead of drinking it, or anything like that. You will see their back rise up, and you have then got a fearsome customer, someone who won't back down. They're always there for the underprivileged, they're always there for the underdog, and as long as they're fighting the cause, they're a happy person. They are in their element. I mean, they could go to soup kitchens, going out for the homeless. They will look pristine themselves, because they're very aware of, they look smart, but they gladly pitch in and help out, and they'll just be a willing helper, finding, people shelter, etc. like that. They seem as though they're on a one-man mission or one-lady mission, but they make fantastic friends with these people they help, and they also meet like-minded people. There's some great bonds in the friendship, and I really think this is a place where they could find their partner as well. But we'll talk about this in a little while, where the Virgo Tiger is so willing to help at the drop of a hat anybody and everybody that really does need it, that a little bit of them may get lost every time. Do they really concentrate on themselves? So I really want to see them with somebody who's going to make them feel special, because you know, through the day, what they've gone through, they've seen a lot of things. They've been in a few arguments or debates, shall we say, fighting for, you know, those people's corners, and they like to come home. They need to have a bit of devotion. They need to have something back, because, you know, the proud tiger and the pristine Virgo has been out there battling, or if they can campaign at home, and they will be doing it, but they will be putting energy and a lot of their heart into it. And sometimes they can step back and they can think, wow, you know, pretty worn out here, you know, I've been putting everything in. They need that, then, a bit of dedication into them, and to be spoilt a little bit, and they need to have quite a full-on love affair, in the sense of they have to have that soulmate which then zones around them, to then rebuild their strength up, someone who can re-energise them, because sometimes they can go to burnout because of all this stuff they're doing, you know, and so this has got to be a little watchful from the Virgo tiger. I think you do amazing things, and I really want you to continue in what you're doing, because I know it makes you happy, fighting those causes of, you know, whatever you're doing in any workplace. I know, you know, unions, etc. What you're doing is a fantastic thing, but then you really do still have to think about your own well-being, and so we're going to find you the perfect match. If we look at the Virgo tiger, yes, they can cope with very meagre resources. They're not somebody who, sometimes the tiger really likes to spend, you know, sometimes they can have real wild moments of extravagance. They will like quality things, but they don't necessarily need a lot of money, because they can get into the mind, well, hey, I feel pretty bad if I blow a lot of cash, because there's a lot of people who haven't got it. So they can live quite meagerly. They're very generous spirited and very generous natured, but they can live on a modest salary. Money's not a driving force for them whatsoever, so they could do a lot of charity work and then just get by on a meagre amount. One thing that will discern them from the rest, though, is the tigers' knack of getting outfits together that stand out. You know, they have a certain class with the way they dress. Even from small budgets, they will raid charity shops for some good pucker gear, and they will look ever so smart, and they will look very distinctive. So this is something you can, it may not necessarily be the most expensive clothes in the world, what they paid, but there will be that element of class, and so you would define them. So that gentleman or that lady with that flair, you know, it's that flair and a very straight back and a very proud face, but a very kind and non-confrontational manner, is very likely to be a Virgo tiger. But they can live, as I say, without having mountains of cash. It doesn't really interest them. Their hobbies normally involve enjoying nature, really. Walking, they love walking, they love cycling, they love the seaside, they love quite natural, easy-going things. They like some hustle and bustle of the market. They don't necessarily have to spend stacks of cash, you know, just the vibrancy and going, you know, little things make them happy. But more than anything that makes them happy is a devotion of a special person, somebody who they know, after they've done all their fighting and all their battling, that someone's right there for them, holding their arm, you know, lending them an ear, because, you know, after all, you know, they're doing everything for everybody else, so they do need that someone special. So who are we going to match them up with? Well, I love to see the tigers with horses, because the horse with the imagination, the loyalty, making their partner feel special, the unpredictability sometimes of whisking them off somewhere and they go on a jaunt, you know, that's such a fantastic thing for the tiger, to drag them out of where they are a little bit, and they do feel genuinely special and you know, loved. It's a very intimate relationship. It's a very sexual one as well. There's a lot of good understanding of how both their bodies, what they need, and it's a very earthy and a very natural feeling between the two. So there's never any problems on that side of the area either. And plus the horse, with the loyalty, will fight with the tiger, gladly fight with the tiger on any cases of mistreatment. They will gladly stand side by side with the tiger and be a little bit more openly aggressive and vivacious, but you know they're there. And those two together, wow, it's a powerful mixture and a great match. So if we look at the horses, and we look at the Scorpio horse, the Capricorn horse, the Taurus horse and the Cancerian horse, wonderful matches there. And I also love to see the tigers with dogs, because dogs, as we spoke about, so caring, the tender things, the little things when the Virgo comes home, or indeed when the dog comes home to the Virgo, there's them little things, the little touches of romance as well in there, and sweetness. It's not as hot-blooded as a union, as the tiger and the horse, but it's so touching and caring, and the loyalty of the dog and the defensive nature of them really protects their Virgo tiger sometimes when they're so brave in their battles. They've always got the solidity of the dog, plus the security. As I say, the Virgo tiger's not necessarily bothered about the money, but the dog will make sure there's enough money for them, the rainy days are catered for, and they will have some great conversation as well, very deep, and the dog is a great person to talk to as well, so there's real great feedback between the two. The ones we've got to avoid for the tiger, as always, are the monkeys. They probably won't come across each other too much, because the fields that the Virgo tiger will be in probably won't see too many monkeys, probably be the people they're arguing against, but not really fighting alongside. So that's one of them. If they do any unions like that, or any businesses, it's going to falter quite dramatically and quite abruptly, and you will find the defensive sides of both of these rearing up, and they'll be at loggerheads. So let's really not go there with any monkeys for the Virgo tiger. And on a health level, as I say, burnout's quite a common one, and sometimes they're taking so much on board, complete fatigue. They can have bouts of this where they just feel as though, I don't know if I can go on. So regular breaks are needed for the Virgo tiger, because the amount of energy and hours they do put in is mammoth anyway. So make sure, and their partner will make sure, that they get a regular break. Thank you for joining me for this issue, and please join me for the next one. Thank you.